She never walked a single step in her life, until a stranger from the streets looked her in the eyes and said 4 words that changed everything. The CEO's daughter, Emily, had been unable to walk since birth. Doctors from around the world had examined her, but found no cure. Her father, Mr. Harris, had spent millions on treatments. Specialists, therapists, and advanced machines had all been tried. Yet Emily's legs remained lifeless, without strength or movement. She watched other children play from her wheelchair every day. Her heart ached for the simple joy of running on grass. Her mother often cried quietly at night, feeling helpless. The family began to lose hope after years of failed attempts. They believed no one could change Emily's condition anymore. One sunny afternoon, Mr. Harris took Emily to the park. She loved watching the ducks in the small pond nearby. While they sat on a bench, a boy approached them. His clothes were worn out, and his shoes had holes. His face carried the marks of hardship and hunger. He was a homeless boy named Daniel, living on the streets. He had no family, no home, and no steady meals. But his eyes shone with kindness and quiet confidence. He noticed Emily's wheelchair and the sadness in her eyes, and he decided to speak to her despite his shyness. "Why don't you walk?" Daniel asked softly, kneeling beside her. Emily explained she had never been able to use her legs. She told him about the countless doctors who had failed. Daniel listened carefully, his eyes never leaving hers. "I've helped people feel better before," he said slowly. "I'm not a doctor, but can I try something?" Emily's father looked at him, puzzled and skeptical. "What could you possibly do that experts couldn't?" he asked. Daniel simply smiled and replied, "Just let me try." Something in his voice felt strangely reassuring to them both. Mr. Harris hesitated, unsure whether this was foolish or hopeful, but Emily nodded eagerly, curious about this boy's offer. They moved to a quieter corner of the park together. Daniel knelt in front of Emily's wheelchair, holding her hands. He closed his eyes, as if focusing deeply on something. "Trust me," he whispered, "and believe you can do this." Emily's heart began to race with nervous excitement. He gently touched her knees, speaking calm, steady words. His hands were warm despite the cold air around them. A strange sensation began to travel through her legs. Emily gasped as she felt a tingling in her toes. It was the first time she had felt anything there. Daniel encouraged her, saying, "Don't stop believing now." Her father stared in disbelief, not trusting his own eyes. Emily's legs twitched slightly, surprising everyone present. Daniel kept holding her knees, guiding her movements slowly. "Try to push your feet against the ground," he said. She struggled, but the tingling grew stronger with each second. Emily felt her heels press gently onto the grass below. Her heart pounded with shock and a spark of hope. "Stand if you can," Daniel urged in a soft voice. Emily took a deep breath, gripping the arms of her chair. Her father knelt beside her, ready to catch her if she fell. Slowly, her legs began to lift her body upward. She trembled, her knees shaking under the unfamiliar weight. Daniel smiled, still holding her steady with his hands. The park around them seemed to fall silent in awe. Emily's eyes widened as she realized she was upright. She had never been this tall in her entire life. Tears rolled down her cheeks, mixing joy and disbelief. "Now, take one step," Daniel said encouragingly. Emily hesitated, unsure if her legs could move forward. She shifted her weight, feeling the ground under her feet. Her right foot moved a few inches ahead. The crowd that had gathered gasped at the sight. Her father's eyes filled with tears of pure gratitude. Daniel guided her gently, keeping her balance steady. Her left foot followed, shaky but determined. She was walking, slowly but truly walking, on her own. Every step felt like a miracle, unfolding before their eyes. By the time she reached the end of the path, she was laughing. Daniel stood beside her, smiling quietly, not asking for praise. Mr. Harris rushed forward, hugging his daughter tightly. He turned to Daniel, his voice breaking with emotion. "Son, I don't know how you did this, but thank you. Daniel simply replied, sometimes you just have to believe. The crowd clapped, touched by the incredible moment. Emily looked at Daniel with admiration and curiosity. She knew this boy had changed her life forever. Her first walk would always be tied to his kindness. Mr. Harris invited Daniel to come home with them. He couldn't bear the thought of this boy sleeping outside. Daniel was hesitant, but agreed after Emily's insistence. That night, they shared dinner together for the first time. Emily told her mother every detail of what happened. Daniel spoke little, but his smile never faded. He was given clean clothes and a warm bed. For the first time in years, Daniel slept without fear. Emily dreamt of walking beside him in the park again. A new friendship had been born out of a miracle. Weeks later, Emily was walking without any help at all. She attended therapy to strengthen her legs further. Daniel became like a brother to her, always encouraging her. Mr. Harris sponsored Daniel's education and gave him a home. The homeless boy who once had nothing gained a family. The girl who had never walked now ran across the fields. Their story spread through the city, inspiring many. People began to believe in kindness and hope again, all because one boy had said, "Let me try," and one girl had dared to believe it could work.